Hey everybody, how you doing? Today I am gonna talk about Kraven the Hunter. You guys who follow me on my comic blogs, who follow me on the past, I grew up around this character. This is one of my favorite villains in the Spider-Man universe. He may not be my top 10 of overall villains, but when it comes to the Spider-Man universe, he's definitely in one of the top 10. Especially he's actually in my top 5 in the Spider-Man universe villain rogue gallery. And for me, my first introduction to Kraven the Hunter was from the Spider-Man cartoon series in the 80s. And then I just like how this character is. He was just, how he looks was so cool. And I started following his backstory and so on. Now we finally got a live action movie. I will say this is the unofficial version because this was done by Sony's universe of Marvel, not official Marvel MCU. So to me, unlike the other people that's been ranting about it, and I could be one of those people that rant about it, especially with somebody that grew up with this character, and I own one of the greatest saga in the Spider-Man universe, one of the greatest saga, especially when it comes to Kraven the Hunter, The Last Hunt, which I have a collection, which I bought the collection book of it, of all the miniseries of the saga into one book, and I had a hard time getting that book, by the way, but it was worth my money and it was worth every penny of it. So now let's go back with this live action version from the Sony universe of giving villains and hero their solo movie. Um, if you have heard, they're not doing no more Sony Marvel movies because this movie's bomb. This is considered to be a bad superhero movie. It was so bad that bad comic book movie. Excuse me. It was so bad that they did pull it off early, pretty much what I heard, and it's not getting any good reviews. And this is the movie where Sony said, we're not making no more of this Marvel universe type of movie. Which I feel like Sony's full of bullshit, but I feel like Sony should just sell the rights to Spider-Man universe back to Marvel or Disney, whatever. But yeah. So now I waited a week later. Now I saw it yesterday, and I'm gonna give my honest opinion what I think of it. And I'm scared to say it. It is a really bad movie. It is not a good movie. Um, I love Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's like one of my favorite male actors of this era. With Frank Grillo, he's another actor I enjoyed of this era when it comes to male actors. So to see him play Kraven, it didn't bother me because this is supposed to be a prequel, of course. So of course he's gonna look younger, and it's just a bad movie. It's about, let's just get to the point. He's the son. His father's the biggest crime lord. He has a brother who's like trying to live up to his father's expectation, and even his son doesn't want to live up to his father's expectation. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be like him. Um, it leads up to a hunting accident, which almost killed Kraven the Hunter. I know I'm not saying his regular name because I'm not good at saying names right, but I'm gonna call him Kraven anyway. He was left for dead, and by the lion, and Calypso, who gave him a chemical that made him who he is, Kraven the Hunter. Now he has powers. He could heal. He could act like an animal, like a lion, for example. And also Calypso in this movie, I did not like Calypso in this movie. She was terrible in this movie. Like, I don't feel like she was nothing like the comic book counterpart. I don't know too much about Calypso, but the way she looks and how she acts, it was nothing like how she was in the comic book. So yeah, she wasn't not good in this movie. Anyway, as the movie progressed, Kraven the Hunter started growing up, and he becomes a hunter of stopping bad people. Um, there is a twist at the end of this movie, by the way, but I won't spoil that for you. At least let me give you one thing not to destroy. But anyway, then Kraven the Hunter comes and visits his brother. Later on, his brother gets kidnapped by a rival gang because they want to extort money from his father. His father doesn't want to pay the money, his so Kraven decided, I'm going to save my baby brother. The rival of the father of his father gang is Rhino himself. You see Rhino in the human form. Now, okay, I don't know too much. I know about the Rhino character. I didn't never pay too much attention to his backstory like that. Only thing I know is that I thought he was a street thug that got experimental enhanced drugs, and then he became the Rhino, and he just robbed banks and shit. And he was more of course, he's also a Spider-Man villain in his rogue gallery. That's the only thing I know about the Rhino. Now, if I'm wrong, if there's anything more to the story of this character, let me know. But like I said, I really don't pay attention to Rhino like that. I know he fought a Hulk. I think he fought Juggernaut too. I could be wrong, but the Rhino, they got him like a good looking nerd, like a good looking nerd, and he has this book bag, which contains like a medicine that will calm him down to be in human form. If he takes it out, he becomes the Rhino. It's pretty much they rip off Bane, like he's Bane. How Bane is, they ripping off Bane. Um, so he's like the main villain of this movie, and later on, there's another villain, foreigner. A foreigner is an assassin that can hypnotize you, and when he hypnotizes you, he will assassinate you behind your back. Kind of like the character that James Earl Jones played in the Conan the Barbarian. He will hypnotize you, and he'll kill you. Like, okay. And I did a back check on the foreigner. He actually is a comic book character in the Marvel Universe. A character that no one will even pay attention to. Like, I guarantee you, no one will give a fuck about Foreigner, because I never heard of Foreigner. But look, Marvel, MCU, they do good job with B&C characters. Sony, they do a bad job with B&C characters, which we already know. Um, so those are like the villains in the movie, and Kraven the Hunter will have to come and fight them. But in this case, they come to him because they want to kill Kraven, because he's like competition. And then he started finding out a little bit more like who Rhino was really working for. But besides that, all in all, this is not a good movie. This really is a bad movie. They say this movie's so bad, Madam Web is a better movie. And honestly, acting-wise, Madam Web had some kind of base to it at least. And the actor, I never had a problem with the actor with Madam Web or anything. The only problem I'm going to be honest, the only problem I had with Madam Web was that it should have been a Spider-Man movie. It should never be like maybe like Spider-Man could have mentored them or helped them out. Like some shit like that at least. But nah. It could have been a little bit better at least. But Kraven the Hunter was a terrible movie. The acting was bad. The story was weak. The way they did Rhino was like not the Rhino that I know of. Like I said, I don't want to ruin the ending. I mean, you guys might want to know about the costume that Kraven wore in the comic book. Yeah, you can take a wild guess, similar to the Wolverine movie. But there was a little bit more to it. There's another soon-to-be villain that's also in the movie. It's not a spoiler, but if you know who his younger brother is, you already know who he becomes after. So let's leave it as that. But I'll tell you one thing I like about this movie. The choreograph was pretty good with martial arts. The knife scenes, the gun scenes. I like the action scenes were good. I'll give it up for that. I enjoyed the action scenes. But besides that, Kraven the Hunter is a bad movie. Besides that. Anyway, over and out. And Russell Crowe, what are you doing? That's how I'm going to throw it there. Okay, peace.